Hey guys, welcome back to A Slightly Twisted Female. I'm your host, Brittany Rue. So I can't stay long, but I really wanted to hop on. I had wanted to get on here earlier so I could talk about this. I don't have as much time as I wanted to, but this is important. So this is concerning Genspect's AGP-gate. Anybody who is not following along, there's a lot of drama going down on Twitter, now known as X, or the app formerly known as Twitter, very Prince, regarding Genspect's a wider lens, or what is it? Genspect, whatever the fuck. It's like, I don't even care, so that's why I don't know, but whatever the fuck their uh, uh, big, convention is called, that they had out west. Apparently the tickets to this thing were like $500+. It's like, why I don't know. And this is why I kind of like, some of these people are just so self-important. It's like, anyway. So for those who are not up to speed, there is a guy who goes by the handle autogynphile. His name is Phil Illy. I did a live stream. He was wearing like a crushed velvet, like ballroom cocktail dress, something that you would see someone wear to like prom back in like 1989. It was really bizarre. And there was a situation of a woman who goes by, I guess, Funk God. Here, let's see if we can find it actually. Funk God, who, like Laura, she's like a 20-something-year-old detransitioner who was seen in the picture with this guy. Hold on, let me see if I can do Phil Illy. And she's the one in the picture with him. Oh my God. Let's see. Hold on. I'm just trying to see if I could find. All right, here we go. So she has been on like a big campaign to defend this guy. And I'm just trying to find it. Sorry. I'm trying to find the actual picture. Anybody who hasn't seen it, it's all over the place. Whatever. Okay. So, and I had made a comment to her, and I just want to make it clear that I stand by my comment, like fully, that people got upset about. And so I'm going to make this big so we can talk about it. And so she went and blocked me over this comment. Don't care. I said, maybe, so this is me talking to Laura, the Funk guy, who's going around now from like person to person, admonishing women for speaking up and like ridiculing us. And I think she's been like, using like, misogynistic slander, whatever. I'm not sure. I don't care. I know that she also made a comment about Kelly J. Keene, basically saying that Kelly J. Keene has done nothing to detransitioners. Laura, first of all, how dare you? What Kelly J. Keene does is hold the line that you cannot trust men like Phil Illy, autogynophiles like that to do. Okay. She makes sure that under no circumstances are these men going to breach the threshold into, what women's spaces are. We need that. All those, like, it's the same thing that the so-called like man hating, dyke lesbians do. Right. That's something that they've done for us forever. This is why they're so important to the ecosystem of femaleness, of womanhood, is because women like this who sit there and they get shit on all the time, but they will not budge. Okay. They hold the line. They don't let men into spaces. That's what the term dyke actually comes from. It's like a water dike. It's something that like prevents water from, passing. Right. And it's women like that who will be your refuge for when you get hurt again, right? It's when you get hurt. Thank God for women like Kelly J. Keene. And to say that she has done nothing for detransitioners, no, she's done stuff for women. You're a woman. It seems like you're still trying to wrap your mind around the fact you are a woman. Okay, you're a 27-year-old woman who mastectomied her own breasts. Okay. So anyway, so she's like going from, person to person and trying to like defend this thing. And I'm going to say it again. Stella O'Malley thinks she's going to sue me. I would, Stella, first of all, and if you're listening and I'm talking directly to you now, I would love to see you come from Ireland to the US and try to make a case in court about how anything that I've said is libel or slander. And I'll repeat what I said before that you took such offense to. I think that Genspect is controlled opposition to WPATH. I think that Genspect does a horrible disservice to the families that they claim to serve. I think that Genspect is very much has a motivation to keep gender ideology alive through a new evolution of gender ideology, which is the true trans. And that's really what you've always been. You're absolutely part of the gender industry. You're not separate to it. You're not there to take it apart. You're there to help it tweak what it needs to tweak so that we can pretend like, oh, the tide's changing. You sit there, you steal these gender critical takes, and you pay close attention to what real gender critical people are saying. So again, just like the trans movement has always done, it rides on the tails of other civil rights movements. That's what it has always done. That's how it got in the door in the first place. Okay. It co-opted feminism, the civil rights movement of feminism. It co-opted the homosexual civil rights movement, the LGB, and now it's co-opting gender critical movement for its own purposes. It's not dumb. Okay. It knows how to keep itself alive. There's too much at stake. There's too many profits. There's too much investment, and there's too much money to still be made. You really think that they're just going to roll over and be like, all right, the jig is up. Jig is up. They got us, let's fall back. No. Stella O'Malley, you're no friend of women. I think you're dangerous. I think you're disingenuous. And I think that you're getting unhinged because you see that people are starting to expose you. You assume that after this, you'd be basking in the glory of your $500 a pop convention, and that everybody would be sitting there, circle jerking and congratulating each other and patting you on the back. And that's not what happened. And I can tell that you're very stressed out. I don't care. I won't stop. Cancer didn't stop me. My ex-husband didn't stop me. Some lady from Ireland who, enables dangerous men sure as hell is not going to stop me. Okay. Try to find me. Catch me if you can. I don't care, and I won't stop. And this other, Laura Funk God, and I'll make this clear, this isn't personal. Laura, I don't know you. I've never heard of you a day in my life. You were non-existent in my world until this picture of you and this autogynphile popped up. Okay. And I see your behavior lashing out towards other women, and it makes me suspect that you're not fully deprogrammed from this cult. And come to find out, you've only, it's been like a year and a half, maybe 2 years since you detransition, which detransition is even a misnomer. I think desisted is actually the correct term. Desisted just means to cease persistence. It's like the opposite of persistence. You desisted in this facade. You never transitioned, so you didn't detransition from anything. You were always a woman. You still are. Okay, but you desisted in following along with this nonsense. And so it is, but you still are staying close to groups that are very much part of the gender industry, and you're staying around people who are very much still in the cult. Anybody who thinks that Phil Illy is some based, AGP because he admits that he's AGP. No, he's just not dumb. He knows that he can hide in plain sight if all he's got to do is admit that. It's kind of like Blair White. All Blair White ever had to do was admit that he's a man, and for everybody to let him carry on doing whatever he was doing. They realize it's a strategy that works. It's not a strategy that I buy, and that doesn't sell me anything. Okay. And I will hold the line because I don't care about being popular. I don't care about getting special pats on the head. Okay. My only allegiance is to my family. Okay. Nobody else. It's to my family, and then it's to women and children everywhere. Okay. No other individual gets my priority list. It's just not happening. So, all right. So then I said to Laura, and of course she blocked me, and I actually have a burner account and I could pull up what she actually said, but I got to hurry. I was trying to do it, but Twitter's giving me a problem. I said, maybe consider that your judgment as somebody who amputated her own breasts because of an ideology she likely discovered online has not historically been trustworthy. So you might be lost and confused and not even realize it, like you were when you had an elective double mastectomy. Oh, I remember what she said. She was like, oh, everybody's acting like I was some lost and confused victim, fell, prey to this guy. She goes, no, I know exactly what I was doing. It's like, but do you? Did you? I'm sure you would have sat there and told us dead in the eye over and over that you knew exactly what you were doing when you signed yourself up to go mastectomy your own breasts, right? Like, I'm sure that you were so certain that you knew what you were doing. Maybe, Laura, maybe it is time for you to do more listening than you do talking. Listen to the women who never fell victim to this cult, whose children never fell victim to this cult, who always saw what it was. Maybe these women have some tools that you don't have when it comes to critical thinking. Okay. And you know, it might serve you to fall back and rather than disparage the women who are making coherent, totally valid arguments as to why the behavior of Phil and Genspect is unacceptable, rather than rush in to defend him and back down all the feminists. Maybe listen to other women, you know, for once, because I'm sure it was listening to other women that made you snap out of the cult that you were in, right? And I get everybody's like, "Oh, you're being too mean. That's taking it too far." Not really. Taking it too far is sitting there co-signing all of this stuff. These people have been coddled to death. They've been coddled to death. It is time to stop doing that. There is no compassion in a lie. Vanessa Voki, and I always say Vanessa Voki right here is somebody who I model. That to me, that's somebody to role model after. But like, love her or hate her, whatever, she holds the line. She doesn't apologize. She doesn't waver. It's not, she doesn't pick whichever position, you know, will go over best with whoever's in front of her. I respect that. I really do. Yeah, Christina says it's better to tell them the truth. And that's exactly the thing. The problem with Susie Glucksman is like a lot of these detransitioners, with all due respect, they get like shuttled to the front of the line as now everybody's looking to them to, oh, you know, guide us. Why don't, you know, it's basically say somebody's been like, you know, clean for like 3 months and now all of a sudden they're directing programs on how to like rehab centers, drug rehab centers. It's like, well, slow down. Maybe we should be rushing to get advice from these people just yet. You know, I love you too, Vanessa. I miss you so much. Okay, so let's see. You know, it's okay. So then Prisha, who's another detransitioner who has about the same amount of time detransition, says, this is too much. And I said, no, it's not. It's the truth. She does not have, I said, Laura does not have a history of sound judgment regarding this cult. And she should have some humility and listen when women are telling her that she's, again, making poor judgments regarding members of this cult. This advice is to protect her, not disparage her. I said the truth is painful sometimes, yes, but there is no compassion in a lie. And sometimes tough love means telling the truth even when it's hard to hear. Laura is continuing to display addict-like behavior regarding the trans cult and terrible judgment like she's done in the past. So Prisha goes on to say, I don't even disagree that the behavior is worrisome and that Phil is a very strange hill to die on, but personal attacks don't help. What personal attacks, Prisha, with all due respect? I didn't attack her. I stated a fact. She amputated her breasts. She has admitted that she had very poor judgment in the past. She's talked about how it's, you know, destroyed her life and all this impact that it's had on her. She wishes she didn't do it. So she acknowledges that her judgment was poor. She acknowledges that she fell victim to a cult. So pointing that out, though, is disparaging her? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. I push back against that. Horrible, right? Sorry. I mean, completely. And she goes, did you notice how she responded to you? Actually, Prisha, no, I didn't notice because she blocked me before she responded, right? She made sure to quick block me, then respond so that I didn't have a chance to actually engage. That's not exactly like somebody who's really, you know, strong on what they believe, but hey. And I said, let's see. She said, why do you think she responded with anger and pain? Again, Prisha, I don't know how she responded. The woman blocked me rather than actually engage with me. Do you actually believe that people take advice from people who display cruel behaviors and no empathy? Cruel? Tell the Prisha what you don't. The reason why you were in a cult, the reason why you took years of testosterone is because people didn't tell you the truth. Again, with all due respect, Prisha, you are somebody who also medicalized and desisted from, you know, like living this lie. Had people told you the truth, remember everyone was saying that, the most transphobic, mean thing to do would be to like look you in the eye and say, sweetheart, you're a woman. Stop this. You'll never transition to be a man. Remember all the people who said, no, that's so cruel. That's horrible. They could kill themselves. That's putting their lives on the line. Again, look at what you're saying. That me being brutally honest at a time where we need it right now is cruel and disparaging? Absolutely not. You know what's cruel and disparaging is coddling this behavior and enabling it. Genspect is cruel and disparaging. Genspect is so cruel to invite and allow men like Phil Illy to show up and engage in his fetish in a room full of traumatized women, a room full of traumatized families, vulnerable families, trans widows, detransitioners, desisters, who all later spoke up and said how bad that made them feel, how uncomfortable they were. No, that's what's cruel. Okay. Me telling a woman and stating a fact about what a woman did and pointing to the fact that maybe her judgment is not ideal is not cruel. It's the truth. And maybe she needs to hear it because clearly she's not fully taken from this. Do you actually believe people take advice from people who display cruel behaviors and no empathy? No empathy, Prisha, again, with all due respect. I've had nothing but empathy for people who've been harmed by this cult. But I have no empathy for is people who continue to participate in the cult. And what your friend Laura is doing, the funk god or whatever, is continuing to participate in cult-like behaviors. No, I have no sympathy for that. That would be like, again, you talk about like with people, the addicts, you talk about like people think when they enable addicts, they think that they're helping the person. You're only helping the disease. When I coddle people with cult behaviors, I'm only helping their disease to continue to progress. It is so much like addiction. It's crazy. I don't know. And then she said, I truly believe you said that with the single-minded goal of winning an argument and being mean. If you wanted to protect her, you wouldn't mistreat her. How many people have said that? How many people probably said that to other people who wanted to come up and tell you that you're not a man, you're never going to be a man, you should stop shooting testosterone? What if one person was brave enough to just be the mean friend and tell you that you're destroying your health, you're ruining your chances of carrying a healthy pregnancy, you're destroying your fertility, you're destroying your body? What if one person was the mean friend? First of all, Prisha, with all due respect, you don't know me. You've never met me before. You know nothing about me. You've maybe seen a few of my videos. I don't know what else. You don't know me. So to make, the assessment that you think that I was doing it to be with the single-minded goal of being mean, I'm sorry, is arrogant. You know nothing about me. You have nothing to base that on. Let's see. And again, Prisha, like this isn't, these aren't like relationship ending comments. And I would love if more people were mature enough to be able to engage in, disputes without like running away and be like, I hate you. You know what I mean? It's like, it's all good. I got nothing against you, but I am going to, push back firmly on stuff that I don't agree with that you're saying about me. I am able to be kind. Oh, here we go. You want me to just be kind? Prisha, should I just be kind? Should I stop talking about the truth and just be kind? Should I do that? Who else says that? Again, it doesn't sound like you guys are fully deprogrammed from certain aspects of this cult, with all due respect. I'm able to be kind to trans-identifying people while they send me death and rape threats. If you become the monster you think you are, then they run back to the cult. You're calling me a monster for acknowledging what? Make it make sense, Prisha. This woman is sitting there disparaging other women who speak up about how uncomfortable this autogynphile participating in his fetish made them feel. And she has slammed every woman. But you're coming at, bro, like, I gotta hurry because I can't stay on here for too long, but this is important. I said, I am being kind. I'm telling her a truth that might save her life. She should be skeptical of her own judgment regarding these men. They are actually dangerous to her. My words are not. Richie said, I think it's difficult to encourage critical thinking via disparaging comments. It pushes people into a defensive stance. And another thing to be clear, and this is what I said to Richie, and Richie, who I like, and I told Richie, this isn't just for Laura's own good, right? It's the fact that people who are trying to form an opinion on the whole AGP-gate are listening to Laura's stance. And I'm telling not just her, because again, I understand that it's hard to really communicate with people who are still entrenched in cult thinking, but it's for other people who are spectating and reading and looking, that they should be wary when they see ex-members of the cult still towing the line of that cult, still kind of on the fence of that cult, and still taking some very, programmed takes. And before we all rush to look and pedestalize this woman, Laura, and whoever else who was recently in the cult and who took it to a very far length, maybe take what they say with a grain of salt. Maybe listen to women who didn't get sucked into a cult, who, have displayed a history of sound judgment. And a lot of those women who didn't mastectomy their breasts, who didn't self-harm, who didn't, go down this rabbit hole of very disordered thinking, are telling you that this is not normal or acceptable behavior. And before you rush to silence them or block them or contradict them or tell them how wrong they are, maybe listen to the women who haven't shown a history of severely disordered, non-functional critical thinking skills. That's all. Yeah, exactly. It's, And again, of course, it's the empathy trap. You guys are only saying this because I'm a woman, and it's like the worst thing in the world is to be a woman and to, be unapologetic and taking a firm stance. But I know, sorry, no, because, I see how much is at stake here. Yeah, exactly. So, so then Rex Landy says, telling the truth is not disparagement. Perhaps it feels that way post-cult. Yeah, exactly. So what did I say to Richie? I said, GJ2 says, you cannot avoid the fact that if people in charge were those who see through trans for the insane scourge that it is and oppose it in totality, there wouldn't be any victims of it in the first place. Bingo. We don't need to compromise with this disease. We don't need to compromise with this cult. And I won't. I said also I should mention that I didn't only say what I said for Laura's benefit, but also for those who think Laura is someone whose lead to follow is to follow regarding AGP-gate. The way she has been treating other women regarding AGP lets me know she is not fully out of the cult frame of mind. And I said respectfully to you both, I don't agree that stating a fact, she chose to amputate her breasts while under a frame of mind that had her captured by a cult is disparagement. It is a fact, perhaps a painful fact, but stating the truth in plain words reminds us all how serious this all is. And acknowledging the decisions that she made in the very recent past further makes the point that her judgment regarding this cult and the members of it have not historically been sound. This is way bigger than any individual. Genspect is pushing a dangerous new iteration of the trans. Yeah, like I said. Richie said, I think you could say the same about me in an inverse, and maybe it's worth talking about. And I say, I agree, I probably could. And if I see you slipping back into cult thinking, I'd probably be one of the first to come and give you the same tough love. Not because I hate you or because I want to hurt you or because I have to be right, but because sometimes it's what we need to hear to sober us up. And I'd hope that you do the same for me if you saw me slipping into a dangerous frame of mind. People check me on this channel all the time. And I have to sit and consider it. Is it legitimate or not? Right? And if it's legitimate, I'll acknowledge it's legitimate. We've got to be strong enough to stand up and be the bad guy sometimes. Sometimes it's the punch in the gut that forces us to snap out of a cult feedback loop. Richie says, I understand I'm undecided if the last bit is right or not. And I get your angle. I do. I'm just not sure how effective it is to get them to think critically, especially if they're already on the defense. And I said, and that's okay. I respect your criticisms. You have the right to express them. We don't have to agree. And he says, I hope we get to chat about it sometimes properly. Him and I have been talking about him coming on my channel. I would love to have him. Please understand, guys. I am, if you think, it's like, I have to tell my kids this, right? And please, this is very much my parenting style. Make no mistake. I am not committed to being a friend to my children. I will be the bad guy many times over if I have to, if I know that that's the right thing to do. I have no problem. I have no problem taking an unpopular position if I know it's the correct position. Okay. And this is not personal. I don't want anyone to think that I'm like not a friend to detrans people. Of fucking course I am. Of fucking course I am. I'm putting my personal and professional reputation on the line to stand up to this thing. Okay, I would, and I'll fight for you regardless. I don't care if you like me. You don't have to like me. I'm going to continue to fight for you guys. This is going to continue to leave this as a space, for you to like come or whatever. But like, I'm also not going to sugarcoat anything, you guys, I cried my eyes out listening to some of these detrans things. This is how serious I know that it is. Richie's story is harrowing. Some of these people's stories are soul breaking. I cry. I do. I'll sit and I'll listen in my room. I'll cry my eyes out because I can't imagine living like that. I can't imagine somebody I love being put through that, so that's how serious this is to me. This isn't like, this isn't just like I don't know what they all think it is, what this Genspect crowd thinks this is like. It's all like a game. Oh, it's all just like, oh, let's all like, argue like it's a big entertainment thing. This isn't entertainment. I don't see nothing entertaining about any of this. Never. Thanks, Shinobu. Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? So what else did we say? Whoops. All right. Let's see. So hold on. Just real quick. Oh, Cuppy says it's harsh but true. I followed a slightly twisted female for a long time. This is how Brittany talks. She has said from a place of concern for Laura. Look how much she's digging her heels in. Remember, this girl's gotten into cult ideology before. It seems like she can't realize she could be wrong. Yeah, exactly. And sometimes like you kind of got to just put it all out there. Like, sis, with all due respect, has your critical thinking skills been, are you batting 100 right now? Maybe not, let's see. I don't see that as an attack. It was framed as, please consider the possibility your judgment is off. That's not attacking. It was blunt, but that's not an attack. In fact, it's a respectful comment, believing a person is capable of hearing a challenge. Yeah, totally. So I'm not like a super massive fan of this Laura character right now because of how she was handling other women, and I'm siding with them. But like, she's a woman, okay? She's still somebody that like, she's a woman. She was harmed by this. Think that she needs to continue to deprogram and work on herself, but like, I still fight for her. There's nothing as personal about this at all. In fact, if I didn't care about her, I'd be like, yeah, keep it up. You're doing great. You're getting those Twitter followers up. That's the important thing. Like, no, bro. So I said, quote, I believe what you said. You said what you said with the single-minded goal of winning the argument. I said, this comment is proof you know absolutely nothing about me, which is true. It's like, let's hear. She blocked me before she responded. Here we go. Oh, here's Laura's response. Oh, thanks, Prisha. Prisha sent me Laura's response. This is what your response. She blocked me and then wrote this. So Prisha said, people like this aren't your friends or allies. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to, Laura? She's talking about me, but to who? True friends are proud to see you succeed and overcome obstacles. Get out of your comfort zone. They don't use every opportunity to tear. First of all, no, Laura, I'm not your friend. I don't know you. When the fuck did I ever claim to be your friend? I don't know you. She's autistic. Yeah, if Laura's who I know she is, she's autistic. Has spoken about being hypersexual and fetishizing gay men when she was a tiff. Now I'm so tired of the autism thing, bro. We're all a little fucked in the head. Like, I have ADHD. No, sorry, don't care. She's high functioning enough to go and be a part of these conferences and stuff. Like, no. Okay. And I hear you, but it's like every 5 minutes, like, well, I'm autistic. That's why I did this weird thing. Bro, enough. You know what I mean? Like, then even more of a reason to be like, hey, am I really, like, making the best? Yeah. What do you mean? I feel you, but but it's like, people like this aren't your friends. This isn't Pre-Show saying this is Laura. Laura, I don't fucking know who you are. I literally only know about you because you took some wildly bizarre photo with some wildly bizarre guy at a conference that was supposed to helping people whose lives have been ruined by this horrific cult, and you're making a game out of all of it. And I think it's despicable. I think your behavior is despicable. And I think that you have clearly a history of terrible judgment. And I'm just stating that. Do I want to see you harmed? Of fucking course not. Fucking course not. Would I fight for you anyway? Of course. And I still will. You want to have a conversation? You're welcome on my channel. Let's talk about it. I'm diplomatic. I'm not going to sit here and just trash you, because I can think three-dimensionally about things. So anyway, she said they don't use every opportunity to tear down your sense of autonomy by bringing your present day reality back to a low point. It's all relevant. It's not like I just randomly, we were fighting about something totally random. I was like, yeah, remember that time you cut your tits off? Like, no, this is all related. We're not going to sit there and pretend like the elephant in the room isn't there. No. We need to talk about it. Let's talk about it. You're sitting here engaging and hanging out with these very bizarre figures, these very bizarre, dangerous, creepy men. You're like, oh, it's no big deal. And I'm letting you know how do you know that your judgment is sound? You feel me? It's all relevant. And what do you mean every opportunity? I've never interacted with you before. I don't know you. Like, huh? Like, I'm supposed to like regard you as an old friend? You're essentially a Twitter rando, yeah. So she goes, they don't tell you that you can't trust your intuition or make rational decisions because of a mistake. That's a pretty serious mistake. It's not like, oops, I tripped and fell, and oops, I accidentally put in the wrong, color. I was supposed to put in blue and I put in red. No. You had to go call them up, make an appointment. I mean, there were so many points at which you could have stopped and be like, what am I doing? It's not a mistake. You made like a billion mistakes. You had to go research a doctor, call the doctor, make an appointment, go in for a consultation, talk to your family about it, talk to your fucking medical insurance. You had to show up that day, follow whatever protocol. Usually they say, oh, you have to fast for a certain amount or whatever it is. Then you had to go. Like, there were so many steps. This isn't like, oh, oops, like I accidentally, I snapped on somebody and said something I shouldn't have, and it was just a snap judgment. No, you had all this time to sit and think this through. This is very premeditated. This was not long ago either. And it's all related to this cult. It's not like, oh, it has nothing to do with anything. It has everything to do with everything, Laura. And so, they don't tell you that. Well, if your friends aren't telling you that you should question your judgment, then they really aren't your friends. And, maybe you should check your Rolodex of friends that you've kept around you, because if your friends are the same people who let you go through with applying cancer treatments because you wanted to be part of an internet trend, maybe they're not the best people for you, Laura. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. Bullying me and laugh at me. Who are we talking about? Is this the guy? Or is this you? Who's bullying me and let Patrick Scovigard? They can rebuild their intuition, critical thinking skills, but they never will if they are in denial about obviously having issues. No, exactly. And everybody, and of course, and even for all these other detrans people who are taking what I say personal, I'm like, but there's a reason I'm not saying it to you, because you're not continuing to show cult behaviors, right? If you were still doing things that seem to be in alignment with the cult, then yeah, I would probably be like, hey, what, you should probably check in with yourself and fall back for a little bit and listen to the people around you. Of course, people, the same way that people can recover from alcoholism and addiction, but it takes time. It's not like the second you put down the drink or the drug, oh, I'm clear, I'm all set to go. No, it's a long, arduous process. Even in like AA and NA, it's like they have these like sponsors or whatever. They're not going to give somebody who's been clean for like a year or two a roster of other recently clean addicts to look after and alcoholics. No, it's like these people need to be clean for like 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years. Okay, you got to understand the complexity. Imagine how complex this whole indoctrination had to be for you to literally make all the decisions to like put one foot in front of another, open the door, walk in through the doctor's office, get in the gown. I mean, it was so many decisions that you had to keep taking to get to the point where you're laying yourself down on an operating room table to have your breasts amputated, right? So yeah, I would love that if people walked around saying be honest instead of being kind. And there's a time and a place to be kind. It's like, okay, you wore an ugly outfit, right? We're not going to use that in this case because it's actually, but it's like, say you got like a stupid haircut, right? Then I'm just going to like lie and be like, yes, no, love it. Oh shit, that looks fucking great. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like, who cares, But there's some times where being kind, no, is not the kind thing. There is no truth. There's no compassion in a lie like this, period. Abusers and manipulators do. Oh, so now you're calling me an abuser and a manipulator. Oh, Laura, you are so very much a part of this cult still. So they can feel a smug satisfaction that they are crushing your spirit. Hold on, let's see. Oh, here we go. Oh, here's the lovely Laura, Miss Cunt, as I will hereby referring to her, exemplify. Oh, that's real mature, Laura, Miss Cunt. You're real mature, Laura. You really sound like you're like, a fully evolved adult woman. Totally don't seem like, you're still like just some childish, cult Klingon. Yeah, that's what's up. And that's what you've been saying to other women all over the place, calling them bitches and cunts and harpies and stuff like that. Yeah, no, cool, bro. But did I lie? Let's start there, Laura. You can call me all this name saying I'm an abuser and I'm a manipulator. What am I manipulating? I don't want anything from you. I don't really care about you like with all due respect. I care about you like as like, you being a woman and in the same class of women with me. But like personally, I don't know you. I don't want anything from you. What am I manipulating? What do I get from any of this? Not like I have some like big career on the line. I'm not Genspect. I'm not getting like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to do. I get like people send me like $30. People are like, great stream. Here's $10. I'm like, hey, thanks. I can go get some coffee. You know what I mean? And they're not the same thing. All right, I gotta go. I reached out about a Philly turf group. Have I seen it? I will look into it. The sick janitor that contaminated children's food. Ew. Jesus Christ. All right, I gotta go, guys. I love you. Yeah, it'd be like that sometime. Laura, you want to hop on the channel? You want to like talk about it? Let me know to my face that you think I'm a cunt. I got you, bro. I got you. All right, my kids just walked in. I gotta go. Love you guys. I'll see you later. Bye. Hold the line. Stay strong. We're not backing down. Wasn't personal. Sorry you took it that way. You mean there's just too much at stake. I'm not just being nice anymore. I'm being real. Bye.